Started out as what was known as the Hopestar ON 360 in the latter half of the 1960s until Suzuki purchased the design in 1968, and out of that was born a legendary, capable, little off-roading monster that we know of today as the Suzuki Samurai. Hey, what's up guys? Josh from TrailBuilt, and I believe there are a whole lot of you out there who are just like me who would love to have one of these little legendary, go-anywhere capable four-wheel drive beasts just to go tear around with and show it off to all the built Jeeps to prove that you don't need deep pockets to tackle all the trails that the big Jeeps do. And in today's video, we take a look at one of the underdogs that made a huge impact in the off-roading community. So make sure and smash that subscribe button so that way you guys can hold on to the ride with us. Let's go. All right guys, real quick, if you are looking to pick up a set of wheels, tires, suspension, or accessories for your Jeep, Toyota, truck, SUV, or even your little off-road Suzuki Samurai, make sure and check out trailbuiltoffroad.com for some really great savings, including free shipping to any state in the lower 48 on all wheel and tire packages. In 1985, the Samurai, which was known in other countries as the Jimny, was the first four-wheeled Suzuki vehicle sold in the US as a 1986 model. The US version had a carbureted 1.3-liter overhead cam four-cylinder engine that had the same amount of power and torque as today's food blenders, delivering a ground-shattering 63 horsepower and 74 foot-pounds of torque. It was noisy and slow with a 0 to 60 time of just shy of 17 seconds. But the instant you dropped the manual shift transfer case into four-wheel drive, you could instantaneously tell it was in its element. Off-road, it was nearly unstoppable and became intensely popular within the serious four-wheel drive community for its exceptional off-road performance and reliability compared to other 4x4s, and even outselling the Jeep Wrangler by 2 to 1 in 1987. This is due to the fact that, while very compact and light, it's a real four-wheel drive with real solid axles and equipped with a lever shift transfer case, well, except for the later production years of the third gens that had a servo-actuated mechanism instead of a lever, but the transfer case even came with a 4 low gear range. The fact that it's lightweight makes it a very nimble off-roader, less prone to sinking in softer ground than heavier vehicles, and the biggest limitation it had was the street spec tires. Manual locking front hubs were standard, with auto lockers available as dealer installed options in both its front and rear axles. And with a base price of $6,600, the Little Sammy, as it is often referred to as, was 2/3 of the price of a new 1987 Jeep Wrangler. Suzuki's first marketed television commercial was an instant hit, showing the Samurai slamming on the brakes for a stop sign, beeping the horn right before its occupants waved at the camera and shouted, "Hi!" Suzuki originally planned to import 1,200 Sammys per month in its first year, but wound up selling 47,000 units for the first year, giving the Samurai the best first-year sales of any Japanese vehicle to that date. Hey guys, we had to interrupt today's video to let you guys know that for the month of November, we have some super awesome deals going on all month. All you gotta do is click the link above me here or go to trailbuiltoffroad.com. It took just more than a year and a half for sales to hit the $100,000 mark, and by mid-1988, Americans were buying 8,000 Samurais per month. All 4 of the Samurai generations to make it to the States had the same body-on-frame construction. The body actually carried no structural support and only served as the cabin for the occupants to provide comfort and protection in the case of a collision. The frame itself was referred to as a ladder-type frame that you would find on a regular pickup truck, and much more robust than its counterpart, the unibody frame. And because the ladder frame was much more rigid, it wouldn't twist up under extreme off-camber situations, allowing the suspension to perform better and allowing the tires to maintain much more contact with the ground. And we all know the more the tires are on the ground, the better we can keep our traction and keep moving forward, or in reverse as well. And speaking of traction, like I had said before, every generation Sammy had both front and rear solid axles, making it even more attractive to the off-road crowd, given the fact that solid axles have less moving parts than independent suspension, which means less parts to replace. Not to mention, a solid axle will articulate better under load. When one of the tires is up on a rock, the other is forced downwards and is more likely to keep the tires planted on the ground, and again, providing better traction. And solid axles are just a lot stronger in general than its independent counterparts. Plus, they are also easier to upgrade to make them stronger and even more versatile. The first two gens for the US market used leaf-sprung suspension at all four wheels, with the third and fourth generations using coil-sprung suspension at all four wheels. There is an exception where some late second generation models had coil-sprung suspension as well. Plus, all four of the gens have recirculating ball steering mechanisms, which is particularly well suited for all-terrain duty, but relatively imprecise on road compared to modern rack and pinion construction. Suzuki introduced an updated Samurai in 1988 as a 1988 and half model. Softer springs, revised shock absorbers, and a thicker front anti-roll bar helped to ease the Samurai's rough ride, while a slightly shorter fifth gear ratio improved highway performance. Mindful of the Volkswagen Beetle's success through revision rather than redesign, styling changes were limited to a new grille and wheels on the outside and new gauges, steering wheel, and seats for the interior. That same year, Suzuki introduced the slightly larger 1989 Sidekick, also sold by General Motors as the Geo Tracker, to sell alongside the Samurai. But 1998 was to be the almost all end to the Sammy's success. A strong yen required Suzuki to raise the price to $8,500, which strangled their sales a bit, but not to the effect of the Consumer Reports debacle. After an employee of Consumers Union, of which is the company that owns Consumer Reports, rolled a test car in normal driving, the popular magazine gave the Samurai an unacceptable rating, saying it easily rolls over in turns. The company showed reporters a video of the Samurai tipping onto outriggers fitted by Consumer Reports in a 40-mile-per-hour crash avoidance test and urged the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to issue a recall, but they refused. Regardless, as a result of the unacceptable rating from Consumer Reports, along with the extensive media reporting of it, Samurai sales still plummeted, and Suzuki, for the first time, had to offer cash rebates to keep the Samurai selling. Suzuki then sued the Consumers Union in 1996, alleging the problem occurred when the test was modified to induce a rollover, and through Suzuki's own internal investigation, found that indeed they did. In fact, caught on video was Consumer Reports failed 47 different attempts at rolling it before they actually did. With all of the evidence that Suzuki obtained against the Consumer Reports Union and their failed debacle, Consumer Reports ended up settling the lawsuit with Suzuki out of court, obviously. Despite those mortal wounds, the Suzuki Samurai soldiered on with few changes. The 1990 Sammy received throttle body fuel injection with a corresponding bump to a whopping 68 horsepower, and Suzuki offered a two-wheel drive version between 91 and 93. The company removed the rear seat after 94, a loophole in which way to conform to a government safety standard for the requirement of rear seat shoulder belts, which the Samurai lacked. Sadly, the US version of the Suzuki Samurai was in 1995, although the Suzuki Jimny still carries on outside of the United States and throughout other regions of the world to this day. The Suzuki Samurai is now a prized collectible, though many examples have been modified, so finding one in showroom condition is pretty rare. If you are trying to buy one, opt for a non-modified Samurai, as they are less likely to have been subjected to off-road abuse. Buying a previously modified Samurai, on the other hand, can be a huge cost saver compared to making the modifications yourself, but then you are subject to the quality of the modifications done by others, so make sure and look for signs of shoddy work. Alright guys, well, we hope you enjoyed this video, and that is all that we have for you today on the Suzuki Samurai. But we want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you guys think of the Samurai, or if you already have one. First, make sure and add it to our gallery on Trailbuilt, but second, let us know how you like it and what you all have done to it. Also, let us know if you guys know of any really good condition Suzuki Samurais that are for sale, like mint condition, as we just might be looking for one. As always, guys, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and little bell next to it so that way you guys can hold on to the ride with us. I'm Josh from Trailbuilt, and we'll see you guys back again shortly.